News.mc on Monaco Info is brought to you by Monaco Legend Properties. Our exclusive interview with the personalities making the Principality.
My name is Daniela Spanier. I'm the president of Me Connect. I'm from Bolivia. I came to Monaco 14 years ago following my husband who had just moved over to Monaco. He was working between Switzerland and Monaco. I was commuting at the beginning and after the marriage, and I was gonna give birth 2 months after I moved over. I did not know much about Monaco when I arrived. It's true that I have been raised mainly German-oriented. I went to a German school and I studied in Switzerland, so for me, Monaco, France was unknown. So I didn't come here by choice, but I found my life here. I'm Italian, the kids have an Italian passport, the husband has a German passport, they do not speak Italian nor German. We are victims of globalization. So basically, I found my passion in Monaco connecting Latin American countries with Monegasque institutions. I opened a company that is called Me Connect, and the mission is international philanthropic cooperation. I lead the No Finish Line in Santa Cruz, Bolivia. Is the only one, the first one in Latin America so far. I'm trying to develop it probably in Panama and eventually in Colombia. And besides that, I created the Latin American Charity Bowl, which purpose is for people in Monaco to experience the best of Latin American cultures. So we bring chefs that bring ingredients from Panama, in this case it's Panama. We have musicians, the best musicians from Panama coming over, fashion show. We have an auction because we're raising money for a beautiful charity project in Panama together with Ahmad. The First Lady of Panama is coming to support us. And this is, the idea of this is to create an exchange, a networking for many other spin-offs eventually to develop out of it. I'm trying to create a community that has an interest in common, and I believe cultural heritage is very important because it makes who we are. It's a community, it's the values, the principles we grew up with. So I try to bring people that have been 40 years in business, that have made an incredible career in culture, which for me is specific: art, fashion, gastronomy, and music. And I bring them here to Monaco. They are my guests. I give them an award, the Latin America Impact Award. They're not only successful, they have opened their own foundations. They have inspired many others to follow. Some of them have schools. So this is the type of people that come here. And that's the purpose, to create a community, networking. On the other side, the purpose is philanthropic, which is to raise funds for a charity project in the country of honor. I don't invite you to a Panama gala where not everything is Panamanian. So the musicians are Panamanian, the menu is Panamanian, the decoration, the fashion show, the artists that are going to donate for the auction, it's all from Panama. 2 years ago I did Bolivia. That was really nice too. I've done Colombia in the past. We did also Cuba. We have done also Brazil. And I think next year is going to be Colombia. Again, because it's a whole different concept. I think there's plenty of things we can do business-wise. The No Finish Line is an example. It's a franchise. So there's many ways to export franchises. Then I'm also working on a Latin American Day, which would be a day where you have conferences with Latin American leaders, and then you find out what are the growth sectors to try to connect the Monaco Economic Board with the local Chamber of Commerce. There's many, many things, but I think the strongest way of cooperation is really combining social and environmental responsibility through the embassies, through the local governments, together with a social entrepreneur in a way, because there's no reason why doing social work or working ethically should not be profitable. So there's many ways to be profitable without damaging the environment or without abusing any minority society. My father was living in Nice, so I came to Monaco when I was probably 19. He took us a little bit around. Then I came again when I was maybe 23 with some friends, typical party. And then I ended up here. I think Monaco called me and it was pure coincidence. I arrived by pure coincidence. But I understand now and I've learned how Monaco works, and I think there's many, many people that would like to come, not by coincidence. It's just a matter of giving the right information. And I see Monaco a bit like this, a small society that has accomplished and has the capacity to reinvent themselves over and over. It's fascinating, the dynamics. Obviously, security is a big, big aspect for me because children can just walk walk around and there's no danger. And then what I love is the people you meet. There is at least one from everything here. For example, if you look at the industry, it's a service industry, but you have every possible yachting service. I can be the only Bolivian and I'm not. There's 3 or 4 others, but at least you'll meet one Bolivian. You have 137 nationalities. So it's just for such a small place, you can be sure that you will meet one. So it's so diverse. And it's so accessible. You talk to people, you interact with them, and that you don't have anywhere else. Anywhere else you have neighborhoods, but here everybody interacts, so I think it's a very interesting learning. I know they're working on the digital transition, but I'm comparing to Switzerland. So I think there's work to do, but they have modernized incredibly. Just now with the digital residence card, I got my card last year for 10 years. You get SMS, it's all automized. So I think everything is accessible. Yes, I guess just for the foreigners it's a matter of the language. Not all the foreigners speak French. I just finished an MBA in IUM, so I really like it. And they're all older. I wasn't there with 20-year-olds. They're all 35 plus. Not everybody knows about it, but now I think I will have a couple of housewives that want to follow my lead. It's very American, in fact. Americans love to study. I think Monaco is evolving massively fast. And I must say it's impressive how they manage the different interest groups, because you have the residents, you have the international during summer when the residents are traveling, and you have the builders, and you have the working. And in a way, in such a small place, they manage to satisfy the interest of everyone. It's a seasonal turnover place, the way I see it. I really think they're gonna digitalize everything. It's going to modernize massively. I think it will continue to grow as it has been growing. They're very strongly positioned in everything environmental. The prince does an amazing job. I think Monaco has everything it needs to actually keep its leadership place. I think from outside, nobody really knows Monaco because they think that the typical, the cars, the casino, the hotels. That's mainly what people think. So that's like the general thought from outside. But when people come and live here, they see it's not only about that. It's a place where you can live. Monaco is always churning. You go from one tornado to the other. There's never any peace. This is how I see it. There's always microclimates and micro-communities, and it's fascinating. They don't really mix. I would love to be able to develop joint ventures. Joint ventures where a company here in Monaco can co-invest with a company in Latin America and have mutual benefits. I already have the interest to develop the No Finish Line franchise a little bit everywhere. But besides that, I would like to be able to do more joint ventures, be more involved in cooperation agreements. I already work with a lot of institutions in Monaco, helping a bit with the interaction. But I would like that it concretizes, that it capitalizes, that it becomes more concrete. I work through the embassies and I have local ambassadors. They have showed interest in some countries, like Mexico or Colombia. It hasn't manifested. It's something that takes long, but yes, I would be perfectly capable and willing to organize a mission économique. I personally have a different vision because I'm more into circularity and sustainability. So I don't think today we can speak about GDP growth, what determines if the country is doing well or not. I think it's more if the country is aligned, public and the private sectors, and if you find stability in those sectors. I think you have to measure it a little bit differently, not only in growth, it's more in efficiency, that you use the resources in a better way. My next challenge, I think, is going into politics. I think I will really appreciate going more into advisory because I've been working for so many years between the public and the private sector, with the embassies and with Monaco institutions. So I think politics and diplomacy and speech is extremely important to reach an agreement. So I think I would like to go into that direction. No country in particular. Actually, I just discovered a new MBA that it's about political advisory and public speaking. So probably I'll study that or do that part-time because I can connect them with the right people there. I can take care of the trip. I can take care of the itinerary. It's something I do every time I have the gala because everybody comes always from the country. Latin America normally tends to be the resource provider and Monaco more the industry or the financing, but there's many ways. I mean, there's other ways where Latin Americans become residents here. I think there's another institution, the Monaco Private Label, that works strongly on that side. Anything intermediary in that sector would be really nice. I have very good connections in Latin America.
That's all for today. Thank you for watching News.mc, your English rendezvous on Monaco Info. Discover more interviews and stories on our websites, news.mc and monacoinfo.com. This show was brought to you by Monaco Legend Properties.